Hello and welcome everybody. It's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you for joining me today for the Courageous Capricorn 2023 horoscope. Well, a lot happening in 2023, and for you Courageous Capricorns, it's all about you, and you are the terms of reference, if you like, for your life in 2023. It's what you want. It's what you desire, all of your thoughts about how you want to grow, what you want to do with your life's mission and that sort of thing, how you approach the world, and what the perception is about you in the outside world, what you think about that. Okay, so a lot to think about, but do stay tuned because I'm going to start the horoscope and we'll have a look at a couple of tarot cards as well as theme cards for the year for you. Okay, so let's look at these cards first. I've got the window open, so let's hope this doesn't blow away. All right, so Courageous Capricorn, the two cards. The first card can be the first half of the year, if you like, and the second half of the year can be the second card, or you can take them both together, whatever you choose. Okay, I'm seeing sort of fresh fruit here as I'm speaking, which is a bit unusual. I'm not sure how to interpret this. Maybe it's indicating a change in diet going towards natural foods or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised in a sense because you have so much going on here in your sign, and it's almost like a whole reinventing of yourself and your core beliefs. And how you approach the world, and coming out and making a statement to the world, letting yourself shine as the truly radiant, infinite, immortal being that you are. Okay, let's have a look and see what cards we get. A waterfall here in front of me. I'll just close my eyes. That suggests it's time for a purge or a detox. It's like your chi force running through your body, through all of the chakras and into the little nadis and all the other little sections. It's like it's running clear. So it could be that there's some sort of detox going on. Okay, so the card that comes out is the Seven of Wands. It's an interesting card, this, because it can mean that you need to defend yourself or defend your way of being. Perhaps people are not happy with the changes that you want to make in your life, but you will do it and you'll be quite successful at it. It could be you have principles that you want to adhere to, and people are just not happy about that. But the good thing is, I don't call you Courageous Capricorns for nothing, because you do have courage and you will stand up for yourself, and so they won't get away with it. The red bra means taking action along with all of those baseball bats there. Okay, I'm feeling if you're actually working, it could be something to do with your career, but let's just put a question mark over that. We'll see what comes out in the horoscope when we look further. You do have an MC in Libra in your career. With that, you're likely to defend yourself in a particularly elegant manner, a very gracious manner. You could put people down and perhaps they don't even know it. So you might have the gift of the gab. You'll be given the proper words to use to seem very polite and courteous, but at the same time having a sort of backhander at them in some way. Okay, the second half of the year, if you like, I see two blue doors opening, this sort of old wooden doors, and they're opening into this sort of old ancestral building. This is some sort of belief system deep in your body somewhere, and it's old. It's European, in fact. It could be French or Italian maybe, or any number of those countries around there, maybe even Czech, Slovenian, some country like that, I don't really know. But opening a door to the past is what they're saying. Okay, so that's a good thing in a way, because that's going to help you with this clean out detox. You're going to let go of some traditional ideas you might have been brought up with, perhaps. The card that comes up is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, this is good for your money. It basically shows this very astute business person handing out money as she sees fit, not as other people see fit. And you decide who the money goes to and where they, what they do with it, sort of thing. So it could be meaning get organised with your finances, okay? There's some generosity here too. It's not just paying bills, it's being a bit generous with people as well. And your kids could, if you've got children, they could be asking you for money, or your spouse as well, okay? That's up to you to decide what you want to do about that. All right, there's our two cards. Now let's make that a bit bigger so that you can see what's going on there. Okay, so this is looking good. All right, let's have a look at your horoscope now. The first thing to note with these red circles here, we start the year with a lot of planets retrograde and the two nodes as well. This is not a bad thing, I don't think, because even though I do believe the 1st of January and the whole month of January are sort of a bit of a template for the year, starting off slow and getting gradually warmer and warmer and boosting your activity gradually, I don't think that's a bad thing. And an orange butterfly has just flown past my window, headed out to sea there, I can see. So this is your creativity and new life coming through to you through creativity. So that's a good confirmation there. I like to keep an eye on what's going on out in the forest there. So, because nature always gives us clues and hints, and it just says a fact. It's just a fact. Yeah, and there's no sort of emotional undercurrent or a hidden agenda or anything there when you're dealing with animals. So, I think it's important to incorporate their points of view into my readings. So we have these retrograding planets. Mercury goes direct January 18th. Mars goes direct January 12th. Uranus goes direct 23rd of January. There is a shadow period after those dates, which is different for different planets, but it basically means that the retrograde energy is becoming less and less as the planet moves forward in its direct motion. And in short, having all of these retrograde and the nodes, it's like there's some sort of surprising inner reality, perhaps here in your 5th house, about your creativity, such as a butterfly just popping in to give us a message. And it could also be about your romance or how you enjoy yourself and what you do for leisure and pleasure, and the messages that you get through that, because Mercury is retrograde as well. So it's sort of like a bit of a combination in astrology. Of course, everything is fluid. It's not really like a switch being thrown on and off. The energy comes on gradually, goes off gradually, basically. So the first thing I want to talk about as I move forward with this is this little triangle here. It's called an eagle eye pattern. Technically, it's 2 semi-sextiles and a sextile pattern or an aspect. And basically, you'll see Saturn here is what's called the focal point. It involves Neptune and it involves Mercury. So it's quite a spiritual and intuitive type of energy that's coming through, with a bit of structure or limitation around it. But it works together so that you could be quite insightful or intuitive about your money. Even if you have been restricted with money, your experiences are going to give you the added bonus of being able to put structure around it. And then what will happen is Saturn is going to move away from that and into your 3rd house of communications here. So it'll be Saturn in Pisces, which is totally different vibe to Saturn in Aquarius. So here, Saturn, to start on the 1st of January, Saturn in Aquarius could be giving you some quite brilliant ideas about how to work and get very serious and, persistent and determined about working smarter, not harder, working smarter about how to grow your money supply. Okay, so even if you feel limited, there's a silver lining here for you. The 23rd of March sees Pluto moving into Aquarius. Where are we here? Moving from your sign into Aquarius, and it's there for 3 months as a taster, so to speak. And that's from the 23rd of March to the 11th of June. And then it moves back into Capricorn until the 31st of January 2024. And it's there for, sorry, I got that wrong. It moves into Aquarius for 3 months. Then it moves back until the 31st of January, and then it moves forward again into Aquarius until 2044. So it will be here for 20 years in your second house. Okay, so the energy around March to June is a little taster of what your future is. And you can see here there was so much activity the first 3 months of the year. There's so much activity here in your first house, as I mentioned before. So it's like you're reinventing yourself. And then Pluto, the planet of birth, death, and rebirth, like the phoenix from the ashes, is moving out of that configuration and into your second house. And it can bring things like rebirth. So you might find a new way of making money, which is really an old way. It builds on something that you've done with your money in the past. And not only is the second house money, but it's also your possessions, and it's the things that you value and what you think you deserve. So with Pluto moving in here, you could come to a whole new awareness about your deservability. So I think that's really quite exciting. Okay, so that's good news. Jupiter is moving into Taurus from the 16th of May to the 25th of May 2024 here. So this is going to increase your creativity, increase your romantic opportunities, and also your leisure and pleasure. You might find you're socializing more, you're going out, you're having a fun time, you live closer to the world of the child. You could have more to do with children, or somebody in your family has a new baby, or a friend has a new baby, and it's just you become more childlike. And that's in a good way. That's the innocent child who is having fun and just being who he or she is, basically. Then we have Venus retrograde, and that's in Leo up the top here in your 8th house. Now, Venus will be there for a few months, and Venus in the 8th house normally can be extremely passionate. It brings extra intimacy in your life. But then it goes retrograde 22nd of July to the 3rd of September. So things could go quieter then for a bit. Or you have these feelings and they're within you, but you're not acting on them perhaps. But on the money side of things, because this house also covers some joint resources and shared assets, so you might be thinking about a loan, you might be thinking about your taxes and things like that, and maybe you don't do anything about it straight away when Venus is retrograde. Venus looks after money, and she will encourage you to spend money, but retrograde, it's all thinking about it and not necessarily doing it. Okay, we do have 4 solar eclipses, 4 eclipses this year, and not solar, 2 solar and 2 lunar actually, which is quite normal. So the first one is in April the 20th, and that's in Aries. So a solar eclipse in Aries brings a lot of spontaneous, active sort of energy, and this will be around your home and family. I hadn't written it in, that's why it's mucking me around. I got sidetracked. Okay, so here in your family zone, you could be doing a lot, and it's very spontaneous, active. Just watch for impulsiveness, that you don't do things just on a whim. There is a lunar eclipse on the 6th of May in Scorpio, up here. Okay, that's a big moon. And this is sometimes like a bit of a shake-up, a bit turbulent, to do with something happens, perhaps to do with your friends or maybe a group, or even your hopes and dreams. And at some point it's going to be conjunct, because the moon moves really fast, so it's going to be conjunct with this south node here, which is all about your past. And it might be that you realise that your friends or your associations are more to do with your, your history, your past experience, and they're not really much to do with your future. Okay, they're not to do with your destiny. They're not where you want to go, and so yeah, you might have to make some changes there, but that's not a bad thing either. It doesn't even mean that you'll let them go out of your life. It just means that you might see them less often or interact in a totally different way with them. Maybe you don't want to, be as personal with them or share as much as what you did in the past. There's a solar eclipse in Libra, and that's on the 14th of October. And there it's in your career zone. So there could be new starts, new beginnings. Maybe you're thinking of a new career, or maybe there's a new relationship, like your relationship with one of your parents, particularly your mother. Maybe that goes along new lines, or something changes in that relationship. But it definitely brings new beginnings. And in Libra, it's likely to be pleasant. Because Libra really doesn't like confrontation. If she can avoid it, she'd rather have things nice and polite. Then we have a lunar eclipse on the 28th of October in Taurus here, and that brings real physical effects around the way that you spend your time, socialising, having fun. You could decide there's a bit of a shake-up warranted there. Maybe you're going to do more, or you're going to do less. Or again, it could be who you socialise with. It could be a shake-up around your creativity. Maybe you want to be more creative and you have to figure out some things about maybe time, or, putting some energy into it, how you're going to do it, and that sort of thing. Okay, and at some point, the moon will be conjunct Uranus, so you might think of some very out-of-the-box, innovative ways of expressing your creativity. Mercury is retrograde 4 times this year, which is completely normal. And first one is, it's retrograde until the 18th, but then we have it retrograde again, 21st of April in Taurus, and that will bring up, again, real physical effects around your creativity and romance, perhaps. It could bring Mercury retrograde, sometimes causes misunderstandings. I want to say miscalculations for some reason. And things don't work out the way that you think with your communications, or perhaps your ideas. Travel's not a good idea. But what is a good idea is anything you started before, say, the 14th of April. It's a great time to go back and finish that if you didn't finish it, because Mercury is about going over past stuff. So that can be very helpful. It's also retrograde the 23rd of August in Virgo. It's actually retrograde in all earth signs this year, which is interesting. And in Virgo, where are we? Up here in your 9th house, travel is really not indicated. If you have to go, you have to go, but leave plenty of time. If you have multiple legs in your trip, leave double lot of time, because often there's a flow-on effect. If you run late on one, and then it affects the next leg. Also with Mercury retrograde, there could be issues with people overseas there, so you might want to communicate and the phone drops out and you can't get through, or they're not getting your emails or something like that. Could be problems with technology with Mercury retrograde as well. Anything to do with overseas might be problematic at that point. It's retrograde the 12th of December in Capricorn and Sagittarius as well. Where are we? Capricorn here. So this could be miscommunications, the way that you present yourself, maybe your identity, your appearance, the way you appear to the world might be misinterpreted at that stage. If you dye your hair pink and spike it, you might get a reaction that you didn't anticipate, for example. And then it goes back into Sagittarius in your 12th house. Things could go a bit quieter in your spiritual life. Maybe you're not dreaming as much as you used to, or you don't pick up the little hints that Spirit's giving us over and over. Alrighty, so that's it, courageous Capricorns. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I really appreciate that. And if you are new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and wondrous blessings for 2023. May your health and your finances and your personal happiness improve. Thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.